up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a live unboxing. That's right. I'm live today, and well, I hope I'm live every day, but I am live on YouTube today, and I've got some good comic books to show y'all today. So hopefully you're in the mood. That weekend maybe is putting you in the mood, or whenever you're watching this, for some good comic books today. I appreciate anybody who watches this live or on the rewind, and in either case, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification, so when videos like this one drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. So I had planned on starting on time. I love to start on time. I hate to start late. And lo and behold, as I was posting a picture on IG letting people know that I was going live, the presser who I send my books to get pressed before they're sent off to CBCS messages me and says, "Hey, is this your box?" Oh my goodness. I've just got to show y'all this. It's crazy. And so yeah, that's my box. Thankfully, hopefully I packed everything good. I told him to give it a once over because I paid a bunch of money because there's a bunch of value in that box. Paid a bunch of money to make sure that it got to where it needed to go in the shape that it was when it left here. What worried me was he showed me the top of the box and it was open, and I was like, oh crap, don't tell me that. Let's see. I encourage you to use a larger box. Too much risk involved. Kill your size. No room to damage it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I have to just bite the bullet when I send stuff off. What is going on? Papa Willie up in the house, dropping the super chat early on. So, Papa, this is, of course, what you get. You get it to rain in the right direction, my friend. How are you doing today? Papa was watching me sling some books over on Thunder God's channel last night, and I will be back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time for the Saturday morning cartoon crew. And so we've got Last Crucis 1971 in here, all the way from New Mexico. What is up? What is up? Copy 801 up in the house. Appreciate you dropping in. So one of the things that Papa Willie, aside from getting it to see that picture, making it rain in the right direction, aside from that, Papa Willie gets one of, oh, look, dude, I hope so too, man. I got some serious books up in there. He's supposed to let me know. But yeah, Darkhawk 1 has got to be the biggest one, right? Now, I had a Detective Comics 475 that's signed by Adam West. Incredible Hulk 449. That is First Thunderbolts. Several Star Wars Legacies, which are newsstands. I had TMNT Adventures #1 in there. Werewolf by Night 33, which is second appearance of Moon Knight. Magnus Robot Fighter #1 Gold Key, so that's Magnus's first appearance. New Mutants 98 newsstand, first Deadpool. And first Revan, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is just some of them. So there's 2, 7, I got 20 books in there. And so it took me quite a bit of money to ensure that, and it better be right, USPS. You got me? Like they care what I say. I'm just paying the taxes to pay for them to ship the stuff like crap. Anyway, I digress. One of the things that Papa Wheelie got by giving that super chat is not only seeing it rain in the right direction, mainly my way, but also he got 5 more chances to enter to win this book right here. So ASM 300, for anybody that's collecting comics at any length of time, knows that this is a big book, especially if you're a Spidey collector. First full appearance of Venom, newsstand copy, 60. This is the same one that I got back and cracked out of the PGX slab and got back. So if you remember that video, I did not press it. If someone's so inclined, they can try it out. But that is this month's giveaway. So if you are a channel or Patreon member, which the links to both of those are in the description below, but if you're either one, you get 10 chances to win. Previously, I had said 5 chances. That's what you got last month when I gave away the first cover appearance of Gambit in Uncanny X-Men 266. But this month is 10 chances if you are a Patreon or YouTube channel member, not quite the same as a subscriber, just for clarity's sake. And then if you, for every $1 super chat, you get 1 chance to win as well. So keep that in mind. Hopefully it does work out. What is going on? Aggressively relaxing. Yes, all the way from New Mexico. So I had ordered from mycomicshop.com, which is a good segue for this one. If you are looking for filling those runs in particular, those hard to find books that may not have enough value to warrant a standalone shipping price from eBay, go to mycomicshop.com and they can help you for sure. And if you've never used them before, use the affiliate link down below, and that helps support the channel as well. He's relaxing. That would be good. But you're aggressively relaxing, like really going hard at it. So got some stuff from mycomicshop.com, and we'll look at that first. I got a couple things from the community members too. Let's see what we got. So you know that I am collecting the Incredible Hulk, and I come down to some of those hard to find issues. They're not in the dollar bins, but there's still not enough value to warrant paying, $6 for crappy shipping from an eBay seller. So decided to go ahead and just bundle together, which is what I like to do with mycomicshop.com, is get a bunch of orders together. And so I'll just keep that tab and just continue to add it to my cart until I get ready to check out. Incredible Hulk 359. Looks like there's a little action going on between the Hulk and some of his biggest rivalries, the Abomination, the Thing, and of course Wolverine. Not sure if that's a dream sequence or what, because I remember Nightmare and all that being around that same time. Weird Science. What's going on, Weird Science? Yo. Never seen you in the chat before. Appreciate you stopping by for sure. We've got Incredible Hulk 300. Little anniversary, bigger than usual. Anniversary size issue there. Got Incredible Hulk 77. Some Lee Weeks action on the cover here. This is from Volume 2. Now, the interesting thing about this one, this is not Incredible Hulk. I don't know if any of you in the chat, or if you're watching this on the rewind, in the description below, if anybody has ever read this series, The Loners. I had never heard of it. I was out of collecting at that time, and it's not like this was some kind of big hit or anything like that. Steve, how is it going? What's up? But the interesting thing about this, and the premise to this book, is that basically these young heroes having kind of a PTSD type deal and dealing with the situations they deal with, and they have a support group. That was kind of the premise of the book. It was a 6-issue miniseries. I'd never heard of it before, but when I was at Pensacon, I met, what is his name? Carl Malone. Every time I look at his name, I think Malone, but anyhow, Carl Malone, and he did the art in this book. And it's got characters like Penance from Generation X. Yes, one of the power packs in there. That's right. I have most, but didn't think I got the last one. That is 6. Yes, this is 6 of 6. This is the last issue of that one. So we had somebody that had heard of it before. Darkhawk's in it. Maddie Franklin, Spider-Woman, Johnny Gallo, which is Ricochet, Mickey, which is Turbo, Julie Power, she's the one from Power Pack, and Phil Urich, which was the Green Goblin. Then he later became, I think, maybe the Hobgoblin. I know he's been around. But when I met Carl Malone, right? Carl Malone at the con, I bought this page right here, the original art page to this one right here. And that's why I wanted to get the comic book to go with it. And because it had some Dark Hawk and some Penance action compared to the other ones that he had available there. So that was some of the things that I picked up at the Pensacon, was some extra art pages. I'd never done that before. And James Watson, who is new to the channel because he had told me as much earlier. Thank you for joining again. So we've got the Loners. So that's why I got it, was mainly just because I had the original art page to it, to one of the pages in there. And there we go to that one. Then we've got the Incredible Hulk 99. This is from the Planet Hulk run. Definitely one of the better storylines, aside from Immortal Hulk, starting out in these latter days of Incredible Hulk, where he's marooned on a planet because of the Illuminati. And we saw some of the action from Thor Ragnarok from there. But then he comes back and he kicks some butt, takes some names with World War Hulk. We've got Hulk 78. Looks like the personalities are clashing against each other in this run. We got Hulk 427. Hulk fixing to face off against some Man-Thing. Pause. But this is not a big issue again. There's a couple of issues around this run that Man-Thing appears, and they're not really worth all that much. It's just finding them out in the wild. I think Peter David was still writing Hulk at this time. He was, but unfortunately, Dale Keown was not on the art anymore. Then we've got Incredible Hulk 90. This is leading into him getting stranded on the planet Sakaar. Incredible Hulk 304, which was a little Mike Mignola goodness right there. Incredible Hulk 97. Back to the Planet Hulk run there. So I only need one Hulk to have 300 to the end of Volume 1. And it's probably less than that, less than maybe 20 to have all the way current, from 300 all the way current. I have not been... yeah, that's one you wouldn't think of very often. There is a cover on House of X, or it might have been Powers of 10, that he did for Wolverine, and I had to pick it up, and I picked it up. It was already signed, but I had to pick it up because you just don't see him venture much outside of Hurdles. I know he's done a couple of things here lately, but yeah, that one would be pretty cool. So I have not been largely ordering online. I haven't, aside from the mycomicshop.com, these filler issues, those are the only ones I've ordered online. The rest of them have been from community, YouTube sales, Instagram, just random organically collecting, as I like to call it, because I felt like that would be the more enjoyable experience. Certainly the cheaper. It's slower, but it's more enjoyable. There you go. Then we've got Incredible Hulk 313, some Mike Mignola goodness on the cover there. 307. So the one that I need in Volume 1 to get to 300, or have all from 300 to the end of Volume 1, is the Incredible Hulk forget the number, but it's McFarlane cover, and he's breaking through the title. That is the one that I am lacking. Marvel Knights during this time. This is Hulk 74. So that's Mike Diodato. Yep. Then we got number 309. I don't think that Magnola did the interior works on these. I think he just did the cover on these. Let me check and make sure. Appreciate the 8 of you that are watching live right now. Be sure to smash that like button. Now, this looks like one of the Buscema's. Let's see. All right. Yep, Sal Buscema. Bill Mantlo is the writer. Yep, Sal Buscema. Sal and John Buscema, at least to me, had a lot very familiar, similar art styles, kind of like Andy and Adam Kubert do, which you would kind of assume that would make sense. And then, oh look, it's green, but it's not the green Hulk. This is Green Lantern's Emerald Warriors, little Guy Gardner and Batman action. So similar to the Loners issue, when I was in Pensacon, I picked these up from John Dale, who is the inker on this book. Unfortunately, and I got 2 pages. So what I was hoping for, and I guess I should have really thought that through, but I was hoping that they would be the side-by-side pages. So like if I wanted to do a shadow box or some kind of frame, I could put it in there and then frame the comic like this. Again, it's not a very big comic. Not worth a lot of value, so I wouldn't have a big problem with doing it like this. However, this is the one of the pages I got. That one and that one right here. So it was like I could take my art pieces and put them back to back because they're on the other side of each other instead of being side by side like a big spread. But oh well, should have thought better about it. I probably don't have room to hang something that big anyway. And if I was going to and could gather enough wall space to put a big piece like that, it needs to be something that just like really screams at me. It's nice. It's cool that I got it from the inker. If I see Peter Tomasi, I'll get him to sign this book. And if I see John Dell again, which I'm sure, because he's must live here in the South because he's pretty prolific down here, I'll get him to sign the actual book because I got him to sign the art pages. He did a lot of the inks for a lot of the lenticular runs that Marvel had a few years ago. So I had a bunch of those lenticulars for him to sign. Then we got Incredible Hulk 311. Big Herm Station. Hey, look, there's and you might can find it, and you might have seen it already at Walmart. And I almost got it because it's a little Cookie Monster toy about yay big, and it's Cookie Monster doing this, holding his hand over his chest and doing like that. Station. So I was thinking about like, okay, station, Cookie Monster saying it. I guess it just had to be there. Then we got Incredible Hulk 422. 422. What's going on? Flash by Night up in the house. One of the channel members. Appreciate you for stopping by, good sir. And that is all of those mycomicshop.com pickups. So let's see which one of this is here. I think this one's from Jiho. Yeah, it's a little box. And they're in these little clear packages where you can see them. There's one of Elmo, one of Cookie Monster. Might be a couple of the other ones, but I know that those are in there. Yep. This is from Jiho. a member of the community who is going to be selling tomorrow and has sold previously in the past. Yeah, that would suck, wouldn't it? That's government at its best there, Flash. So, but he threw these books up, and these were some Hulk books. But you have today, Tyler, and just for you, Tyler, Tootsies. How are you doing? Shattered Glass Comic Reviews, another one of the channel members. Then we've got from Jiho. Nobody was jumping on top of this, and so I decided to, even though I was kind of focusing myself, kind of like I did with my Batman, focusing myself to like 300 forward. This was the first appearance, or is the first appearance of Moonstone. And, you know, this one I was going to probably end up getting anyway. So I went ahead and got this. It's probably a mid-grade, but that Mylar's working its magic on it right now for you. And then Jiho, after I won, said, hey, I'm going to throw this one in there for you too. So shout out to him for that. That's issue 229, so the one after that. So knocked 2 more Hulks off of the future list. It probably is. They can get stuff from you, but you can't get it from them, if that makes sense. Yeah, Jiho is a baller. So we've got that from Jiho. And then the other night, I was on an auction with, was it on Sands's channel? Maybe it was on somebody else's, but he was on there. So I think he was hosting it. And I asked the question, did anybody have this particular book? And he said, no, I don't. Well, I get a message from somebody who I've never done business with before on IG saying, hey, me and Sands are homies. And you said something about needing this book. And Sands said something good about you. So me and him are homies. So I'm going to hook you up if you want it. And he gave me a price. He showed me some pictures. Yeah, that's what I thought, Papa Willie. And the rest is history, as they say. I was like, because I'm kind of hesitant on buying from people I didn't know, but I was in that chat. So obviously this person was in the chat too, because they saw the interaction with me in the chat, and then Sands saying something about me in the Saturday morning auction. And this is one that is, if you find it on the convention floor, it's going to be one of those back wall books. It is Incredible Hulk 441. This is the Pulp Fiction homage, and was one of the ones that I needed to have the latter end of that volume 1 set completed. So the dude not only gave me a stand-up price on this thing, he also threw in this top loader. So man, shout out to him. So instead of saying Pulp Fiction, it says Hulk Fiction, and of course she's in the classic pose there. So I was glad to be able to pick this up off of a fellow community member, because again, it's more fun to be able to organically collect it like that versus clicking a few buttons on eBay. All right, let's see what we got right here. While we got 14 folks up in the chat, which I do appreciate, I do want to shout out the ever-growing list of channel members. I guess I'm going to have to start listing the Patreon members and the channel members separately, just for space purposes, because then, like, when I have that rolling banner right there, you can't see Wolf Blitz's name. And so these are people that have supported the channel through their monthly memberships. If you're interested in one or both of those and what kind of benefits come with that, then be sure to click the links below. Now, not the least of which, when it comes to benefits, is this book right here, because this is the June giveaway, a 6.0 copy of a newsstand copy at that of the first full appearance of Venom. And for every channel or Patreon member, you're going to get 10 chances to win this by just being a member. Or if you're not wanting to set up for the channel membership, you can simply put every dollar of super chat that you put in will get you a chance to win that. Now, so check this out. The newest member to the community, Papa Wheelie. What is going on, Papa? For that, Papa, we're going to have to give you this.
Yay! Welcome to the team! Hooray! Hooray! Yeah! Hooray!
And thank you, Papa, who is now enrolled in that. Okay, I twisted your arm. All right. So Papa Wheelie, the newest member of the SCG Collective. Appreciate you, Papa. Joffrey Castro slipped up in here. Appreciate you for stopping by. I promise that no kids were harmed in the filming of this video. Also, if you are in need of some supplies for your collectibles, to include but not limited to your cards, your comics, your vinyl records, be sure to check out bcwsupplies.com. Use the coupon code SCG at checkout and save yourself 10% on the order. The link is in the description below for your convenience. All right, let's get back here, make sure I haven't missed anything. And let's show you this. So the other day I saw these on IG cards. I don't normally show cards. I don't really collect cards anymore. I used to back in the day, like I'm sure a lot of us do. Yeah, but there was a seller, and he's either the comic shop owner. I think he's a comic shop owner over there in Augusta, because Mark from Legion of Comics, who go check out if you haven't already. And by the way, for every channel member, you've been gifted the Blue Wrench of Power. Papa Wheelie, I'll gift you yours after the show, but the Blue Wrench of Power, so that you can drop a link to your channel in any of our live streams to shout out videos that might be up and coming, or just to kind of put your name out there for anybody who is not knowledgeable of your content. So there you go. But Mark from Legion of Comics, who just crossed his 800 threshold and is kind of growing like a weed right now, I think he's some kind of connection to him. Anyway, he had these Plasm cards. So Plasm was from Defiant Comics, which was Jim Shooter's company after he was ousted from Valiant. Of course, Defiant went defunct too, and then he ended up at Broadway. But these were from Defiant. Now, Warriors of Plasm was kind of the premier or the primary title for there was other ones like Constantine and others, but this one was the main title. Went for I think 13 issues, and they had their own trading card set. Why? Because everything had its own trading card set back in the day. If you can remember back in the 90s, everything had its own trading card set. And so these are the cards. I'm assuming this is a whole set, but I don't know that to be the case. I don't know if he just opened up the box, because this is the original box it came out of. And then on the back, it shows some of the vehicles and stuff from the Plasm forces, just like a lot of the cards did. And then on the back of these, it puts together a puzzle that you can see scenes from out of the book. So a lot of these did that too, like the Spider-Man, Bagley Spider-Man cards, the X-Men cards. There was a scene with them all in the danger room. So if you put it on a 9-page sheet of cards, then you would have that. And so similar to that right here. But I had gotten these in the other day and then forgot to show them off, as if anybody collects Defiant. Oh, wait, there. So I have all of the Warriors Plasm. I've got most of the Defiant. It's not like there's a lot, but they go in the Broadway too. Same with them. But they all go into the Valiant Same way with the gold key back from the Valiant Collect characters. Get out in a minute. And now bad idea. Same way. They're kind of like cousins, right? Zom mothers. Convert plasm into zoms, and the most complex items of organic technology is the org. When coaxed, zom mothers can also produce clones of free-thinking plasmoids, a highly illegal act. And if you're interested in Warriors of Plasm, you can find them in a dollar bin near you. I don't think there's one that's even worth anything. I know one certainly is not. The last issue was the hardest to find, but I found it on mycomicshop.com. There's another segue there, folks. But there is that. I have got to get some cards. So I was gifted an AOK from Daymares, gifted me a set of Valiant cards, and he sent them in a plastic, one of those little plastic things where they stack like that. But I'd like to put them in those pages and be able to flip back and forth between them. We got issues. So very true. We all have our issues. Hopefully they are of the comic type. How is it going? Geek Out with Roscoe up in the house. How is it going? Geek Out with Roscoe. So Daymares had sent me those, and I gotten a couple other ones here and there, a couple Marvel cards, X-Men Marvel cards that people had sent, and packs I'd bought and that kind of thing. But I don't think cards are called. There is some nostalgic value there, but I don't think there's enough nostalgic value for me to dive into card collecting. Of course, I said that about figures, and you've seen the videos. I've got a stack of Black Series figures that I've got to find a place for right here by my desk. I got all these Marvel Legends figures that I'm not opening until I get the full deal right here also. So, yeah. So what I mean to say by that is that those are famous last words. Hopefully not with cards also. I did want to shout out Legal Burning, who is one of so Papa Willie, how many pops do you have? So I've got, let me see how many pops I've got, because again, pops were one of those things that I said I'm not going to get one, then I get one, and I started getting some signed. I said I wasn't going to get that many of them. Keep up with this right here. My list. Collection. I have 46 pops. I know Papa Willie's got way more than that. But I got 46 pops. But I did want to shout out Legal Burning, who is one of the channel members as well. He has his... Dude, I hope you got them things stacked real well. Do you keep them all in the pop protectors? Because if you don't, and that thing falls over on top of you, you're a goner. You're a goner. Because, man, because the pop collectors that I have, they have kind of a curvature to them. And so they're really not straight like a you think a box straight, or even if they were outside of the box, it'd be straight. So they kind of have that little bow to it, if that makes sense. And so it doesn't make stacking them very tall that easy. So Legal Burning, one of the channel members, has his burn boxes where he burns, yes, literally burns a cover. I purchased one of them, and I noticed that on his post that two other ones. Okay, yeah, the $7. I don't use those. I've used Funko's pop protectors before, but I found these at GameStop, and they were on clearance. There was like, okay, so $10 for 8-pack. How much are those $7 a pop protectors? Eight for $10 plus tax. The Funko packs, I think at Walmart, are about the same price per unit. So Ryan is he sold 2 of these. One was mine. So let me see this right here. So that one's kind of the classic Hulk look. This is the one that I got from him. I was kind of torn on which one to get, but I didn't have a Wolverine, so I decided to get one. And that camera is not doing it any justice. Marvel Legends, Creators, and Pops. I tell you what I like better than Marvel Legends Weird Science is the McFarlane figures. I feel like the McFarlane figures are made better because a lot of the Marvel Legends I get, the legs are really flimsy. I just don't have that good quality feel that I get with the other. So then we've got the Lou Ferrigno Hulk, which I have a magazine that has him in the same pose that I'm going to get Lou to sign next time I see him. And then he had this Batman. That's the other one that sold. I started to get a Batman, but I already have a Batman from him, so I decided not to get it. But it comes with that and 10 comics, and one of the boxes has an extra black covered Venom in there. So you got to pick which burn you wanted, but the other comics come in random. So shout out to him. And so we got 15 folks up in the chat. I would imagine that majority of the folks in here are not action figure collectors. They are comic book collectors, just because that's who generally watches my stuff. However, there it is. So I bought an extra one of these the other day. I keep meaning to post it on Macari or sell it on my Saturday morning auction, but I keep forgetting. But this is probably my favorite of the McFarlane figures. The sheen on the helmet. I like the new 52 helmet look for Red Hood. This is the extra. The other one is open. Just the pose and stuff. The other thing, the reason why I like McFarlane more than I do the Marvel Legends, which, by the way, talking about Marvel Legends, I'm sure you've seen the new Age of Apocalypse ones that are coming out, which I like actually, because the usually in the Marvel Legends or even the Build-A-Figures that the McFarlane does, there's always a figure that I'm less than thrilled about. I'm like, I could do with or without it type deal, but I want the extra piece, so I'll go ahead and buy it. With Marvel Legends, because they have bigger runs for their bigger Build-A-Figures, there's usually a couple in there that I'm not too really thrilled about. But that Age of Apocalypse line, I wanted every one of them. So great. And then I seen also Wolverine with Cyber and Omega Red releasing, I think, in December. So Sleeping Collectibles, I said something about action figures, and the man himself shows up. What is going on? Sleeping Collectibles. I was showing off this extra Red Hood figure that I got. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a giveaway. Typically my giveaways I do are comics because, again, that's majority of who watches my channel. But Jonathan Michael here says that he's into figures and comics, not into pops. So there you go. Papa Wheelie says there's a 20 count for 19 or 50 count for 37. Yeah. So probably for me, Sleeping Collectibles says it's wet outside. Reverse that rain for me. You got it, my friend, right here. Reversing that rain in the right direction. So appreciate you, Sleeping Collectibles, getting his name on the list. He's already on there 10 times because he is a channel member, but getting his name on the list for this bad boy right here, which is an ASM 300 newsstand copy by doing that $2 super chat. So there you go. Showing off some of the emojis that come with channel membership. Oh yeah, man. And so it's the sheen, not only the jacket, but that sheen on that helmet. I mean, it's the new 52 look for the helmet. So it's kind of a defined face versus just kind of a round one. I really like that. I really like it. I like it a lot. A lot. That is, I've been thinking about doing some, well, cross your fingers. Maybe it's yours. Maybe it will be yours. But yeah, so that is that. And then I also had an extra one of these that I thought about doing for a giveaway as well. I listed it on Macari, but you know, I just assume, just me, but sometimes I just assume to give it away than I would be sell it for and lose money. I'd probably make 0 cents whatsoever. But sometimes that's the way I am. But this Nightwing figure. So I needed the Joker, the Batman who laughs with the wings, to complete my Build-A-Figure for the Merciless Batman. And I saw this and this grouped together on Macari. And that was the only place I could find it. I'm like, crap. Oh, well. And I had already gotten this. Otherwise, it would have been a no-brainer. And so now I'm stuck with this. Then lo and behold, of course, I find that out in the wild. I could have just waited. And yeah, the Nightwing figure is pretty cool. The thing I like about the Nightwing, I would have liked it better if it was a kind of a shiny logo on his chest, kind of like Red Hood's is on his face. But the thing I like about the Nightwing character is its flexibility. He's highly flexible, meaning that you can do a bunch of different poses with him. And you would expect that from that character, right? You would expect a former trapeze artist to have that kind of flexibility. And this figure does not disappoint. So there is that as well. But what do y'all think? I mean, I can do action figures giveaways for future giveaways. I could do pop giveaways as well. It's just really whatever the community wants in particular. All right, so let's see what we got. Joffrey says, yes, nice figure. Art Chemist up in the house. Another great artiste of the community. I know, right? Let's see. Love that Nightwing. Got all three together to build the Batmobile. It's one of the early videos. Yeah, I did that too. So I got my I liked the Sean Gordon Murphy Batgirl that was in that line. I like the Batman who laughs with Hawkman's wings better than I like the Batman who laughs in that Batmobile figure. Lisa Noble up in the house. How are you doing? Another one of our channel members. Appreciate that. Well, look, if you need that Nightwing, just message me on IG with your address. I didn't know you were still in need of it. Weird Science, gotta run. See y'all next time. Be sure to hit that bell notification and the like button before you get out of here so you don't miss the next time. How about that? Lisa said anything but pops. Hey, look, we found out, Lisa, and you probably already knew this, that Papa Wheelie has enough pops for everybody. That Joker has over 1,000 pops. Yeah, see, this is him saying right here, 1,000 pops. Wow. I mean, he could have no wall outside of his house and just have a wall of pops, if he's keeping them inside the box. Now, I know that some collectors are different. Some like to keep them inside the box. Some like them outside of the box. With my action figures, and this makes no sense, and that's the great thing about collecting. You can just do it your way. It's like Burger King. You just got to do it your way. With the majority of my figures, they're outside the box. But with the pops, because there's not a lot of mobility or whatever, he just said, oh, okay, so now it makes a lot of sense. You stopped at 900. That's why you're like, please, no more. I got you. I know Sleeping used to have a lot of pops in his collection. He actually sold them off. Now he only does figures and stuff. But the only 2 pops that I have outside of the boxes are these. And because I just couldn't help, that's just too cool. And so I have Kylo Ren, who I know Sleeping is a big fan of. And then I also have the man himself. See how the base lights up too? And his little chest thing. Yeah, so I couldn't leave those in the box and not just kind of tap their heads when I want to, like pat, 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 light up for me, pat, pat, type deal. Sleeping says down, had 800 down to 80-ish. I'd say, hey, look, I can't believe to have that many pops, but I've gotten over 9,000 comics. So, who am I to judge? Then what I do is yeah, and that's the thing too. When you're doing the giveaways, you want to do something that people get excited about. Yeah. Yep, 9,000 comics. So Jonathan says I have 6 pops total, a set of 4 Garbage Pail Kids, a Spider Hulk, and a Darth Revan. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, the Darth Revan one's pretty cool. So what I do on my newer figures, I leave them on my desk so that I can just look at them and play around with them until they finally make their way over there to the above the comics. And this is one of the Batman Who Laughs, the Dark Batman from the Dark Multiverse. I've got his hand switched out. You can switch his hand out to be this little tentacle type deal here. And he is a mix of Cyborg with Batman. And then I got the Mezco Iron Fist. Got him in this pose, this dope pose, looking at that fist. I have to get a better camera than this. This sucks. I really like the Mezco figures just because there's so many poses and you can change their heads out and all that other kind of stuff. And then I got, I think I mentioned this earlier, one of the reasons why I like the McFarlane line is, well, one, I'm a Batman fan, so it kind of stands to reason, but also these stands that come with them. So this is the Green Lantern, Batman who's a Green Lantern. And I also recently got Cyclonus. So I've got Ultra Magnus. I've got Cyclonus. They're coming out with the Galvatron. That way I can redo the scene where Ultra Magnus is trying to open up the Matrix of Leadership. Because I have a Scourge. I've already got him transformed, ready to blast away at Ultra Magnus. Cyclonus! So I leave them right there on my desk out of the way for everybody. So Funko has become such a racket, watered down market, cash grabs every day. I'd rather hone in on something larger, more fun, comics figures on. Yeah. It's each their own. And the thing with Funkos and where I tried to kind of hone in on the collecting of it, it was just like really things that really speak to me. And there's just so much, there's so many variants of that. There are with comic books, but when you're talking about comic books, I can have, let's say, 5 variants. So this is 6 books. Okay, it just took up that much space, right? Because they're going to stand up like this in the box. They took up this much space. But how much do 6 variants of a pop cost, the space? And the space, unless you're just filthy rich or something, space is always the bane of every collector's existence, right? Every collector goes through this, whether you're collecting pops, whether you're collecting figures, whether you're collecting, whatnots, Happy Meal whatnots, whatever. Eventually you are going to run out of space, and so you have to choose one thing over the other. I go with comics from the most part, just simply because that's what I used to collect before Funko came along. Before, I used to do the action figure thing, obviously, when I was a kid, and they didn't have all the cool ones they have today. But I'm an avid reader, and so the comics kind of speak to both the nostalgic kick and to the readership. And so the action figures just kind of speak to the nostalgic kick. So I try to stay around things that I collect. So like Batman as an example, or I'm doing the X-Men, Marvel Legends. I try to the other legends that I get to fill the Build-A-Figure sets. Those I give to my kid if they're not inside those X-Men universe there. Yeah, I picked comics and statues over pops. Couldn't keep buying all. Yeah, because aside from space, also, unless you're just filthy rich, money always becomes an issue at some point. But statues, that is one thing that I would love to do. I mean, I look at channels like the Batman statue collector, like Jim Mint, and I think, good grief, those things are so awesome. There is a Darth Revan and a Darth Malik. Two statues. I think they go in a set. There's some other ones like the X-Men diorama with the Sentinel. I mean, it looks fire. I mean, it's so great. But I think it would just be such a shame to put that in a box and leave it somewhere. Well, you put your comics in a box. Yeah, but I can easily pull my comics out and read them too. You can't really do that with a statue, because that I think they're made of resin or whatever, but you drop the statue, it breaks. So you're not going to just pull it out and throw it up somewhere. You got to have some place to put it. Tony Fett up in the house. What's going on, Tony Fett? I see that you're going to be on a road trip soon. Imagine you are going to be hitting up a bunch of comic shops along the way. Are you just going on a sabbatical? Or are you purposely just hitting up comic shops, family vacation? What is the nature of the beast? I found affordable ones like the DC collectibles and I unboxed them. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of a reason why, like with, because back in the day, all the Marvel Universe cards, all the series of Marvel Universe cards, these Mark Bagley Spider-Man cards, Jason Polka Comics. Did I get the accent right? Jason Polka Comics. What is going on? How are you? Okay, but hey, you can hit up every comic shop along the way. There are certainly a bunch of them that I know about just from Tennessee over that I've been to up there. So maybe not. I know Gray Man, he's British, and he tells me I butcher it. But that is back to Papa Willie's point. That is why that I have not really grafted back towards the cards in large part. It's choosing your bads or choosing your space. Tony Fat says, stopping to see people in the community as well and to see their LCS. Are you going to be doing videos with this? Because that would be great. One of the things that I love to do is getting out there in the community and meeting folks face to face, putting a name with the face, or face with the name, I guess would be better said. Anyway, and hunting some comics, seeing different comic shops, and you can certainly find some deals that way because some sides or some shops are more catered to other collecting, like more DC versus Marvel, more indie versus DC. And if you're looking for the opposite of what they're really focusing on, you can really sneak in some deals. For sure, doing videos, yeah. And one of the things that I hate that I haven't done is, and the reason for it is, like, for example, when I went out to Dallas and met with Vincent McLean, the comic machine, and went hunting at several shops, went going to another one after he tapped out, went to another one, and that's where I met Ray Park and got him to sign some stuff. That I didn't stop to take more videos. And it's only because I'm lazy, because I'm not as much worried about the content as I am about getting inside some loan boxes. Two Brothers Comics, who done the media, if you put it that way, for the Huntsville Comic Expo that happened a couple of months ago. Nick and of course Nick's the behind the scenes kind of guy, and Dustin's the face and everything. But they all the time they spent getting that thing set up and standing in lines and watching people. And I'm like, how do you not get tired? I just want to go and get inside some long boxes. Like, show me some long boxes. Let me go, dive neck deep into some long boxes. See my little legs doing like this outside the boxes because I'm upside down. I guess there is a balance, but the content comes separately to me, although my channel's monetized now and all that kind of great stuff. But the love of the hobby is why I do what I do. Get a GoPro. I know I need to. It's just like this camera right here. I've had this camera for a while. When I did change computers. I did update computers. So there you go. But I need to update my camera as well. So check this out, folks. The 11 people and maybe some folks on the rewind are going to be some of the first people to see this right here. I'm not going to show it all to you, but I'm going to show you some of this just as a little teaser. So the channel is coming out with its own exclusive comic. And I can't tell you who it's with and all that other kind of good detail stuff as of yet. But it should be out next month. And because it's already gone to press. The cover artist is somebody who has done a lot of killer covers lately. Yeah, that's about all I can tell you. Let me see if I can show this right here without revealing too much. Look at that. See that? See that? Or no, I can't show the top part because that has words on it. So it is an homage. I will tell you this. It is an homage to Hulk 181. For those of you who are familiar with the channel, you know that I collect homages to Hulk 181, whether they're the original Hulk 181, foreign variants of Hulk 181, or just homages in general. And so when presented with the opportunity for the exclusive, the artist was very gracious and cut us a deal, and we were able to get him to do that with the characters that are in the story. So it's really cool and will be coming out. There will be some regular covers, and there are going to be some foil covers. They are all numbered because they're very limited in print. There is also going to be gold foil covers. I think I only got 5 of the gold foil. Obviously, I'm keeping one of them, so there will only be 4 available to the general public. And so the prism covers, or whatever way you want, that's not gold, but it's the foil. There are only 10 of those, I think, and then the others, there's only like 40. So very limited print, and the printer actually put the numbers on the comic. So they will be numbered. I'll keep a couple of guests, or 1 or 2 of each. So for my own personal collection. For those who are channel members, again, here's some exclusive announcement right here for those of you who have stayed around long enough. Las Cruces says, tease. Hey, I'm trying to give you what I can, my friend. Got to give it what you can. Yeah, I do. I know what it cost me. I know what it cost me. I just haven't gone through the thing yet. Apex Comics, what's up? But for those of you who are channel members, one of the channel benefits will be getting a 10% off the price of the comic. So if you choose to get the comic, those will be 10% off. Also, especially since the foil and the gold covers are limited, very limited, the channel and Patreon members will be getting first crack at those. So when the announcement is set to be made, the channel members will know before everybody else. They will see the cover before everybody else, and they will be able to say, hey, I'm claiming this many, I'm claiming this many, I'm claiming this many, whatever. And, if the regular public is there any available for the regular public at that point, then they will be able to have those that are left. But channel members, that's another one of your benefits. And if you're not obligated, obviously, to buy any of them. It's just a benefit of channel membership. Papa Whaley, only 10%. And those will go out as well. So they are at the printer. The other person that I'm partnering with on this deal. So my logo will be on the back of the cover. Let me see if this is all right. So this is the back. What did I do with the? There it is. The back of the cover is right here. As you can see, there's my logo right back there. So that's pretty cool. But it's a new thing for me. Hopefully it goes well and be able to do some other ones in the future. But this stuff never cooperates with you. But yeah, so you got first picks just because you were hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon, and hopefully, regardless of what time it is, hopefully it's Friday wherever you're at, and you're going to have yourself a great weekend cuddling up with some comics. Saw all my photos. I didn't have no nudes on there, so you're okay. If you had some nudes, you'd be screaming, I'm blind right now. Maybe with that accent. So anyway, I do want to, again, shout out all of our channel members, ever-growing list of people that are supporting the channel. And then you obviously heard first some of the benefits that the channel members are going to be receiving, and as well as the Patreon members. For the Patreon membership, for the Patreon membership, if you are a buyer of comics a lot from me, the Patreon membership, if you had to choose one or the other, is probably more beneficial, just because, like with the Silver Age, you get one $16 mailer a month for free. And so that's almost the price of the membership. So you get your value there if you're buying a lot of comics. If you don't, and you like the emojis and all that kind of stuff that come with YouTube membership, then there's only one level, but there's a couple of different levels with the Patreon. On the other side of savings, bcwsupplies.com for all of your supply needs. Use the code SCG to save 10% at checkout. If you're not familiar with mycomicshop.com and have never ordered from them, one of the ways that you can support the channel is using the affiliate link below to set up your account. And you can find those hard to find run fillers out there and using mycomicshop.com. One of the other benefits are the monthly giveaways. Last month, we gave away an Uncanny X-Men 266, the first cover appearance of Gambit. And this is, of course, the first full appearance of Venom newsstand copy right here. For those of you who remember, I did not have this thing pressed. To be honest, I only think that it would probably go to a 0.5 or 6.5 if you were to press it. That's probably the max you're going to be able to get out of it. Of course, if you send it to CGC, which I know Jason Parker loves CGC, but if you send it to CGC and you're okay with getting it back next year, you might get an 8. Or if you send it back to PGX, you might get a 9. Who knows? But anyways, that is the giveaway for the month of June. And for those of you who are channel or Patreon members, thank you. And one of your benefits is the fact that you've got 10 chances to win that just by being you and being a channel member. You don't have to do any kind of further whatever. If you decide to do so, that's fine. And if anybody else is not a channel member for whatever reason, if you want to do a super chat in any of my lives or premieres, including the Saturday morning Cartoon Crew auction, which will be here on Saturday, 1 p.m. Central Time, then you can do that. And for every $1 super chat, you get 1 entry to win. Ooh, Papa Willie says, I only send to CGC. Well, each their own. CG, if a dog bites you once, it's a bad dog. If a dog bites you twice, shame on you. And CGC has bit me multiple times. I'm not saying that I'll never send to CGC. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek saying that because I knew you had those issues with CGC. But I'm not saying I never use CGC because I was looking at the Walt Simonson or the Bill Sienkiewicz signings that they were doing, and I was thinking about sending some stuff to them because they prioritize that stuff. But just the average person sending stuff through, you can forget it. All the horror stories that I've seen, I just don't. I was told by CBCS representative that they were coming out, that they were already had viewed the magazine cases, and they were hoping to finalize that this year. And that's one of my main things because I have a couple turtle books, a couple magazines that I've got signed and stuff that I would like to send in, but I just don't want to send it to CGC because talking about being backed up, they're worse backed up on magazines. So, that would be the one thing is the signings and or the magazines from right now. Signings are fast tracked. You are correct, Mr. Parker. And, signings are really a good deal if you just want the signature. If you're not really interested, like I am, about meeting the creator, getting to talk with the creator, the experience of it. Value-wise, that's the best time to sign it. Some of you might be familiar with my story of my Hulk 180, 181, and 182, all of which I sent to CGC to get signed by Roy Thomas last year. Because all of those books, but in particular 180 and 181 for sure, all of those books are higher value. CGC decides that it wants to charge you a certain percentage of its worth, as opposed to just a regular book that's a Copper Age book or a Bronze Age book that's worth that right there, right? So, but I got a flat rate, and as Jason Parker put it, got it fast-tracked for cheaper had I just sent it up to CGC and it said, nobody sign it. I got the signature for free. So, that's kind of the deal. Discovery Bay, the most recent winner of actually, the month before that, Disco won the Patreon giveaway, which was for an ASM. I forget the issue number. It wasn't a big issue or nothing, but it was a Bronze Age Spider-Man. He won that. Then he won the last month. So Discovery, I mean, JB, if you win this next one, they're going to start saying it's rigged or something, right? Or you just have the luck of the Irish. But so for that, my friend, we've got to throw this. We got to make it rain in the right direction. Thanks for stopping by today. Hopefully everything is going well for you and yours. Sad Lemon Comics recently had a batch of 200 books. Whoa, none of them were sealed? Wow. It's like, what are they doing? How can you? That's just like beyond me. I mean, it's like when they had the hair in the book, or for me, or they had the labels switched. I mean, these are very easy to see. It's not like some little minute little thing that's kind of rattling around down there at the bottom. So if you're not rattling it, you don't see it. It's not like one of those things. This is something that you cannot miss unless you're blind. Unless you're blind. And maybe that's where their recruiting pool is going to. They're going to the blind store. and buying all the blind people, like you buy blind people at the store or something. Anyway, there's a place down here in the South that that's who they hire to work there, because basically it's works with your hands, so you don't really have to see stuff as much, and they're people that are visually impaired. So maybe it's someplace like that they're recruiting. I don't know, but CGC. The only bad thing is I don't know what that's going to do to CBCS, because CBCS is obviously going to be continuing to pick up more stuff. CGC doesn't care or thinks, hey, it's Katie bar the door, because they continue to get more signers there. If they were really interested in fixing their problem, they would say, hey, look, time out, guys. We're going to pause grading for like 2 weeks. We're not going to receive any orders for 2 weeks, and we're just going to catch up. No. They're not going to do that. And I get the financial aspect of that they would lose, that amount of money potentially, because people would choose to go to CBCS or say, well, I'm not going to end up grading it after all, whatever. But with CBCS's new cases, the fact that they don't have Newton rings with them, they are, so from a collector standpoint, it is nicer to feel that you've had a tougher eye on your grade, so that your grade is a true 9 point whatever, even if it does hurt your feelings when they do it. Kind of like that Spider-Man one did me. But it'll be interesting to see. What else will be interesting to see, because PGX and AGS are kind of the outliers. EGS, rather, are the outliers. They really don't have a cult-like following, if you will, for them yet. PGX did partner with another one, so they have PGX East and West. I don't know if that does them any good. I would have changed my name. If I was going to merge with somebody, I would have changed my name. I would have not kept the PGX name. I would have been as far away from that. I would have said, new management. You ever seen these stores do that? We're under new management. It's the same people, instead it's the husband and it's the wife. I mean, what? But those Newton rings are killer, Jonathan, Michael. I mean, it's so aggravating. And from my understanding, you're supposed to switch them out, kind of like boards and bags. You're supposed to switch them out like every so many years. Like I think it's like 10 or 15 years. But so most people are like, who cares? But it might be 20 years, because they just came up on their 20th anniversary. But in either case, you're supposed to switch them out. Otherwise, you might start damaging your book. To my understanding, CBCS does not have that issue. Whatever different technologies they're using, they don't have that issue. I used PGX originally when I started slabbing some stuff, because they were inexpensive, less expensive than CBCS. I did not like CBCS's cases. I did not like the pink label that they used for signature verification at that time. Having said that, they fixed those two problems. Now, if they can only get customer service inside the United States, CBCS would, again, outpace themselves. I think that's one of the things that CGC still hasn't up on CBCS on, is the in-state customer service. When you call them, you can actually understand them. It's a difference between speaking English and understanding English. So there you go. Well, guys, I have rambled on. I have showed my books. I've rambled on for an hour, gave you some exclusive info. Yeah, it really didn't do anything for the book. It was just like blaring, like it was really ugly. They didn't call it pink. They called it red, but I don't know how they could get red out of that color. It was totally pink. What's going on, Tapia's Family Unlimited Comics? What's going on? But yeah, so gave y'all some exclusive insider information regarding the comic exclusive that's coming out for the channel. Here should be this month. Actually, the comics are at the printers while I was sitting there on the this channel. The other person messaged me and says they sent the request, so I got to pay them for the books. So Says, I've been always curious, been a curious George about it. Yeah. So one of my hobbies is real estate. That's what my wife would call it because it's not my full-time job. So, and one of my favorite, very faded red. One of my favorite board games is Monopoly. This is an original copy of the Monopoly board that was issued back in the 1930s when they first came out. It's a little bit different than what you would find today. The houses are made of wood. The community chest and chance cards are different. Like there's one that talks about being off the gold standard. We've been off the gold standard since the 1970s. Obviously, that card became irrelevant. And the old wood dice versus the plastic dice. So I just decided to, when I bought that, to do that shadow box. And then I got this off of Etsy. Rent due. Success is never owned, only rented daily. Paid for daily. So showed off what the giveaway is for the month of June. Told you about the exclusive comics. Showed off the comics. Randomly ranted about stuff. Showed off some action figures. Hopefully everybody's going to be doing well this weekend. Grab you some comics, grab you some action figures, whatever makes you happy and all that kind of good stuff. Smash that like button before you get out of here. And just because I always look for a good way to insert this in, you got to keep this in mind.
Let me know when you're rolling. Ready. The Sword of Omens tells me that you're watching Southern Comic Geek. Thundercats. Ho!
And with that, folks, till next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.